house. It is prepared by the cities of Fridley and Columbia Heights. Just some housekeeping information for the meeting. If you do need to use the restroom or need to go to the drinking fountain, it's just right across the hall here. Feel free to get up at any point that you desire. As for the agenda, there is a sign-in sheet up front here. Please sign in before you leave. I'll give a presentation discussing project information, the schedule, and contact information for both cities. And then after I give the presentation, we'll open it up for questions and answers. We do have a website for this project, which you can subscribe to updates, and the presentation will be posted on the Fridley website under fridleymn.gov/1639/53rd Avenue Roundabout Safety Project. An easy way to go do it is to go to the City of Fridley website and search projects and choose the 53rd Avenue Roundabout Safety Project. We are recording this open house as well, so that if there's something that I said during the presentation, you can go back and look at it later. Just to give some project staff introductions, I'm Brandon Brodhag. I'm the Assistant City Engineer at the City of Fridley. Other City of Fridley employees include Carl Lind, who's my graduate engineer, and Annie Olson, who is my administrative assistant. From the City of Columbia Heights, we have Kevin Hansen, who's our Public Works Director and City Engineer, and Salman Khan, our Assistant City Engineer. And then the design consultant is Bolton and Mink for this project, and Kevin Kalb is the Principal Engineer, and Zach Lingle is the Project Engineer. Today's open house is provided to inform you of a project the cities of Fridley and Columbia Heights are developing. With the project, there's two different components. There's the street improvements, and then there's the roadway geometric modifications portion of the project. The cities of Fridley and Columbia Heights applied for HSIP funding, which is Highway Safety Improvement Program, in 2018 and received $730,800 through that grant application. Project preliminary cost estimate is approximately $1.1 million for the project, and it is planned to start construction in June of this year. Here's just a look at the existing conditions. So the project starts at Central Avenue, also known as Trunk Highway 65, and goes west to about the Petco entrance right there. It turns in from near the highway with the signal intersection with turn lanes. As it transitions to the west, it goes to a two-way local street. There are currently two medians that are out there now today that are a little bit shorter, one near the intersection and a little bit one that's farther west. And as you can see from the photos, we do have businesses on both the Columbia Heights side and the Fridley Heights side. Just some project need information. So like I said to you prior, with the two components, the first being the street rehabilitation project. The street was constructed in 1964, with the last seal coat coming in 2007. We do street ratings every year on our city streets, with this one, with 53rd Avenue coming in with a rating of 4 out of 10. So it will require some maintenance, and that's one of the reasons why we are looking to do this project. The second reason being the safety of vehicles and pedestrians and bicyclists along 53rd Avenue. Just some safety concerns. Due to the number of access points and their location near Central Avenue, turning movements into and out of commercial driveways creates unanticipated conflicts with vehicles traveling on 53rd Avenue. 53rd Avenue does have about 11,000 vehicles per day in this section. And so with the stacking of vehicles on 53rd Avenue to queue for the traffic signal at Central Avenue interferes with access points. I'm sure we've all seen it during peak hours or no matter what time of the day. There's always cars in the area, and it causes for conflicts with vehicles traveling. There's been 26 accidents reported in a 5-year span, which is about an average of 5.2 per year. Of those crashes, 6 crashes were the right angle, in which 2 resulted in injuries, and 14 crashes were left turn crashes, in which 1 resulted in an injury. The project scored high in the HIP funding for the improvements intended to improve the safety and functionality for motorists along 53rd Avenue. So the recommended solution is to restrict access with a barrier median along 53rd Avenue to eliminate left turning conflicts, construct a turnabout to the west to allow right-out vehicles on the north side of the median that would return to Central Avenue via the turnabout, and provide a similar turnaround for right-in vehicles using accesses on the south side of the median. Eastbound vehicles would have to U-turn to access properties north of the median and when departing with a desire to return westbound. So here's a map of what we're proposing. So in the dark gray area, that's the street is going to get improved there. That's the mill and overlay, so that's where the street rehab will be. Like I said to you prior, right now we have existing medians near 65 and just a little bit west with a space in between. The project would propose to have a median consistently going to the west and go to the turnabout, which is this right here, just west of the eastern Target entrance. So if you're a vehicle coming down on 65 and you want to go to Discount Tire, you can currently turn left into Discount Tire, but now if we propose through the turnabout, you'd have to continue heading west, turn around in the turnabout to then take a right-hand turn into Discount Tire. Vice versa, if a car is heading eastbound on 53rd and they want to go into Target, they'd go through the turnabout and then have this protected left turn lane that they'd be able to enter into Target. But if a vehicle wanted to travel towards Starbucks or Bank of America, the vehicle would have to continue heading eastbound and then at the signal take a U-turn to then turn right into Starbucks or Bank of America. With that, since Trunk Highway 65 is a MnDOT road, we're working with them as far as the signal timing for southbound traffic, because when we have the protected left turn for eastbound traffic to then take a U-turn, we don't want a bunch of cars turning at the same time, taking right. So we're working with them as far as the timing, possibly have it be where it's no turn on red for southbound traffic, or maximizing the U-turn so that we don't have that conflict. The signage on going eastbound 53rd will say that U-turns are allowed, and so that will be a change that will be added with the project. Will 53rd Avenue be safer? There's no strategy that allows for eliminating 100% of the crashes. The goal is to lower the frequency of crashes and the severity. Most severe crashes are typically right angle and left turn, and crashes with pedestrians and bicyclists. Strategies for reducing severe crashes typically include construction of medians and reducing speeds. With U-turn movements, vehicles are generally going slow, in which the accidents tend to mean less severe crashes. Here's a look at the project schedule. We're currently working on the feasibility report, and that'll be in January of this month, with final design being February and March. The cities will have their hearing on improvements, which will be for the special assessments for the street work taking place in February of 2023, with the plan to go out for bid of the project in May of 2023, and construction beginning in June of 2023 and wrapping up by October of 2023. So this is talking about the turnabout area. There's a separate project on 53rd Avenue for the rest of 53rd all the way to Main Street. They're 2 separate projects. We'll have different project contractors and contracts. The portion west will be a street rehabilitation improvement project, as well as adding a trail on the south side from Main Street to Highway 65. And then on the north side, connecting to the existing sidewalk near Petco and heading west all the way to University Avenue. That project is also slated to be in 2023, so 53rd for the entire stretch from Main Street to Trunk Highway 65 will be under construction in the summer. Project feedback, we appreciate hearing general comments. If you have any upcoming work on your property, or if there's access needs that you need to let us know about, whether it's with your truck deliveries or something that we can work out with our contractor to help with access during the construction. We are planning to have the construction be with phasing. We are completely shutting down 53rd Avenue at any point, but there will be different phasing, which we will have construction detours and traffic control set up. Thank you for attending. Here's just our contact information. If there's anything that you'll need to get in contact with us about, or if you have questions. At this point, if there are any questions that anybody has, feel free to go ahead. Yes.
The U-turn, is that going to be on signal only, or is it going to be allowed any time the driver determines, if they've got a green light, they determine that it's safe to make that U-turn? So at one point there was talked about being a signal U-turn, and I just want to confirm that that's still the case.
So right now there's a protected left turn arrow out there, believe. So that would stay, it would stay the same.
That would be the only time the U-turn is allowed?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hey, Brandon, could you just cover the turnabout itself for what size trucks, so tractor trailers, you think of deliveries? And is that able to take all tractor trailers, or what size has that been determined? I think of deliveries to Target, I think of deliveries to Discount Tire, US Bank, that type of thing.
Yes, that is a great question, Kevin. I'm not sure, Zach, is it a W62?
67.
67.
The extra long one.
So it has been looked at, and that an extra long truck, WB67, will be able to transition through the roundabout.
It appears to me that I have a business by Target in the Pod America building. And the only positive that I see here is that because it's Target, you won't block both of those entrances at once. Because I know you won't do that to Target, so I figure I'm safe. But if I had a business in Starbucks in that parking lot, I would be very unhappy right now. You have pretty much told anybody coming from the west to the east, please don't come into our businesses. Now, you don't see it that way because you say, oh, they can make a U-turn. But this whole street, 53rd, is not accessible anywhere, from anywhere, because of the way the housing projects are, because the down farther, 7th Street, you can't turn left, so it's not like you can go left and turn around and come around and then enter from the east. And looking at it, if you think you have stacking problems now, I think the stacking problems are going to be worse. Now, I totally get what you're trying to do, because I come in and out of that parking lot every week, all the time. And that driving, pulling in and out of where Starbucks will use that as the center point, because they have the most traffic coming out. That I can see where it's an issue when cars are trying to come out. And if drivers are just cognizant that there's cars that are wanting to come out and leave that space so they can pull into that lane. But obviously people aren't always that, caring about whether people can get out. I have a lot of students, and a lot of them go to those businesses. In order for them to get to them now, they're going to have to come out, go to the right, go around that, avoid saying stupid turn thing. And there's no way for them to get into those businesses without going to the corner, and they're going to be waiting in line. and try to make that U-turn, and you're making that intersection narrower. Now it's 4 lanes. It does not look 4 lanes to me anymore. It looks like 3 lanes, if that.
There will be 2, this will be 2 left turn lanes.
There's only gonna be 2 lanes.
No, there'll be 4. There'll be
4.
there'll be 2 turns, a through, and a right turn lane. It's right, Zach, Kevin. We're not changing that. So that's going to stay the same.
Okay. Making a U-turn onto Central Avenue, it does not sound safer to me. Really, this sounds like a logistical nightmare for those of us that have businesses that have to use that intersection all the time. And again, I'm glad my business is not up there, because I would be extremely unhappy that you're blocking. People think like normal people. It's a pain in the ass to go in there, I'm not gonna go there. And that's exactly what you're saying to people going from west to east. Please don't come into my business. I know I'm hard to get to. I know that it has to be fixed. I just can't believe this is the only thing we can come up with. And I know nothing I say is gonna make any difference, because this is what it's gonna be, and we better all get used to it. But I just can't believe this was the only answer.
Yeah, well, thank you for the comments. I appreciate it. That is something, those businesses, like you bring up Starbucks and Jersey Mike's and Bank of America, they have been approached and they've seen, they knew that this was coming before that they built their businesses there. So that was something that, because we did want them to know that it wasn't a shock factor, that, all of a sudden we're building this median and no one can get to their business. As far as getting to, doing the U-turn, I mean, obviously it's something that, it's, like you said, it can create conflict in itself. That's why we're working with MnDOT, with making it so that, people that are taking the U-turn, they aren't having to worry about right turn, southbound right turns, and figure out what we can do there. But for the general public, there are other alternative routes to get to, if you're trying to get to Starbucks. I mean, granted, I know your case where it's your employees, your students, they're there, now they're trying to get to Starbucks, their only option is a U-turn. But for the general public, they do have alternative routes rather than having to take the U-turn.
What would be an alternative route?
Like you said, there's locals, they can go down, through Heights. I forget what the next street to the west
Go all the way
is.
down to University, get up on University, go north to the freeway, come up to the freeway, come across the freeway, and then come down.
You can go down Washington to 51st and come back.
Okay. It is what it is. I get it. It's what it has to be. Something has to change. My only hope is that at least we can get one entrance into our businesses, all of us back there, so that it isn't so backed up that our customers can't get to us.
Right. Yep.
So, okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Well, like I said, we'll still be around if do you have any more questions. We'll be posting this on the project website, and we'll have our contact information that if you're thinking tomorrow, you think about another question, or at a later date you need something answered, you can always give us a call. So, thank you.
Thanks, Brandon.